get it right. I age slow. You see any salt in my beard? Be real with me.
See a little bit.
Are you for real?
Yeah, like that.
What's wrong with that, bro?
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm keeping. I ain't dying
But
this.
you felt like it looked like you were disparaged by
The way I look and the way I feel is two different things. Sometimes I might look a certain way.
you like. He's like, yo, you see some salt? He said, yeah, a little bit. For real?
For real, you see that salt? You see that salt? I'm saying, I'm accepting my age. I don't care. Ain't nobody going. You know what I'm saying?
That, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm thinking, hey, you know, as soon as I caught myself saying, I'm like, they got me. They got me. Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys on the Couch, where you got three brothers on the couch. I'm O'Neal.
Lewis.
Alzo Slade Jr.
Three black guys on the couch. How y'all fellas doing today?
Holding it down like paperweights. You know
Holding
what
it
I'm
down
talking
like paperweights, you know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way, man. I can't say nothing better than what he just said. That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel good too, man. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all got the long beards y'all growing or whatever. I ain't tripping because I'm growing a beard too.
We not growing.
It
They
sound
already
like you
grown.
It's already grown. It's already grown.
You the one growing one.
I'm growing one.
I'm
Next time,
regrowing it. I cut it down. I'm growing it back.
Are you gonna grow it long?
Yeah.
I had a long beard too, though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Which
Why you looking at me like that?
Because I don't believe it.
What you mean? Look about you can see the 5 o'clock shadow. I can grow a whole beard. I can grow one thicker than Alzo. I just don't want to.
Why I got to be?
Because I need something to compare something to.
But you could just say I could grow one like Alzo.
Oh.
You had to say
Longer
thicker than
thicker
Alzo.
All right. I can grow one like Alzo. I
There's
can grow
always
one.
a competition with you.
I know. I need to get
This
out of
supposed
there.
to be. This is three black guys on the couch. Yeah. You know, when we leave this couch, we got enough trouble in the streets.
That's true.
With racism, with discrimination, and all that. So why you gonna provide some of this nonsense while we on the couch? And it's supposed to be a safe space.
That what you just said was powerful, and you're right. And now I, in turn, will reciprocate that the right way as a brother that got reprimanded for saying the wrong thing should say. Thank you, Alzo. You right.
I mean,
see that? That's for all y'all out there that when you get critiqued by your boy and you want to get mad and be like, what's up, man? Fuck you and all that. Nah, you do like I did. I'm going to do it again. You're right, Alzo. We got enough to worry about in these streets after we leave this couch.
But to be clear, this does not preclude any one of us from roasting throughout this episode.
Just to be clear, which is an excellent segue into my next thing. You know, I heard around the way, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do comedy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done stand up. Now, I ain't never did stand up before. I've done improv, you know. I performed improv. And not many brothers do improv. I performed with the Groundlings. I was in the Sunday company. Not many brothers do that, you know. But I always felt like, you know, I ain't trying to outshine y'all right now. But I always felt like stand up was my thing. You feel me? I always felt like that.
Oh, all right.
Well, you was the only person over there, so I was trying to look out the window, but you was in the way, so I just looked at you. So, you know, I don't know, man. Lewis, you know, I'm gonna start with you first. I'm gonna go to Alzo. You know, how long you been doing stand up for?
Man, I've been doing it for years, man. The first time I ever touched the stage was probably 2007, but I really started taking it seriously probably around 2019. So yeah, about 4 years? So yeah, about 4 years now.
What about you?
I started for real around 2013, but I did it in college.
Yeah. Oh, for real?
In college, I did it my freshman year. This was in the 90s when black comedy was at its peak.
Yeah.
You know, Def Comedy Jam, Comic Views.
Sure.
And so they had like black comedy clubs popping up all over the place. And they had one in Houston called Just Joking.
Yeah.
Bruh. Listen, that thing was sure enough black, bruh. Listen.
Ooh,
So I used to do the little talent shows
Yeah.
on the yard, on campus. And I went to HBCU, so that's tough enough already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my partners was like, yo, you should get on stage. You should, you know. So I went to Just Joking in Houston on the night they had Apollo night. So you already know what Apollo is.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Listen. So I ain't invite none of my homies.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
You know, if it went well, then boom, I invite them the next go round.
Yeah.
If I bomb, ain't nobody know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went there, and this is Apollo night, so they had stuff other than comedy. They had this dude. They had some poets, singers. Yo, this one dude went up there, bald head, dark skin.
Back then when it was popular.
Popular.
While it was popular.
Dark skin still popping. Let's be clear.
I mean, I'm dark skinned too.
You are, but you more like a you more
mocha.
like a
Twix.
Yeah,
A Twix.
Yeah, you like you're a caramel. Yeah. Yo, so this brother, dark skin, bald head, swole, and sing like Barry White mixed with Luther Vandross. Oh. And he was handing out roses.
And he went up before you?
No, so he
went
just
after.
went. He went right.
Yeah.
I went. I did well.
Yeah.
Like I ain't kill it.
Yeah.
But I did well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm feeling good. So they bring everybody back on stage, and then like the crowd determines who wins. So it came down to me and him.
Yeah.
That dude won, but everybody was encouraging because I'm like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, young buck, you got to come back. You got to come back. You know what I'm saying? You was funny, yada, yada, yada. Boom. I invite all my partners the next week.
You feeling good.
Feeling good, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The crowd was on my side. The host is on my side.
Yeah.
So I get there. It's a new host, right? But I ain't no comic yet, though. I ain't no professional comedian. Yeah. I'm not writing every day.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't either.
So you already know where it's going.
Yes.
Bruh, so I get up there. I say the first joke, crickets.
Yep.
Second joke, crickets. Right, and then my whole soul is just leaving my body, bruh.
Yep.
It's getting hot on the stage. Now, next thing you know, I hear in the faint this is boo. Boo, boo. And all of a sudden, a cacophony of boos, bruh. A cacophony of boos just hit me on the stage, bruh. And next thing you know, the DJ started playing the music. The Sandman come.
Oh, they played
me. Yeah, they played me off. All that, bro. It was bad. And mind you, my partners is there, bro. And it was a new host. So the host went up there after I got booed off and said, yo, you know I rock with y'all as the audience. Y'all energy is great. I usually agree with y'all, but I gotta lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was in the back listening to a young dude. He was funny to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand why y'all booed him. And this one woman stood up with her drink and she said, we booed him because he said them same tight ass jokes last week.
So similar story to you, kind of similar. So I started in college too. And so the homies got me all riled up. He's like, yo, you funny, man. Go up there, tell some jokes. So finally, I signed up, did well at the open mic. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. Like you, I'm not writing every day. So I go to another open mic at school, pretty well-known comedian in Chicago was there, and he was like, yo, you did good. Now it's time for you to go to a real club. Get up with the big
Chicago
boys,
too?
right? Yeah, so there's this spot called Jokes and Notes. And like,
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So Jokes and Notes is well known. Like all the heavy hitters came up out of there.
It's
so
black,
like Lil Rel, Damn Fool, Baldhead Phillips, like Deion Cole, all these folks used to be in there weekly, right?
Yeah.
So I get up there. I did the opposite. I actually invited a couple folks to come see me. And I'm like, I hadn't been on stage in probably like 2 months. I'm like, I'm gonna just get up there and just, do what I did last time. You know what I'm saying? And I got this. Get up there, just like you. Crickets. Next joke, crickets. At one point, I said something. I just remember somebody in the audience saying, ew. And that's the only response I ever got. So I get off stage. They ain't play me off or nothing like that. Thank God. Get off stage. The host at the time was Deion Cole. Like the host that you had, he was like, man, I thought that brother was funny, man. And like, I literally could not show my face in that club for months. But I started going back and trying to get back into it, man. But one of the things that people really don't understand about comedy is like, man, it takes repetition, man. Just like in anything to get good. Like you have to just keep going, keep doing it. Keep figuring out what works, what doesn't work. It's almost like, putting together like a like what's the right mixture to put together, like chemistry or something like that.
Yeah.
Like what, and just being able to evolve. And like you might be going through your set and somebody in the crowd might say something crazy to you. So now like you got to jump out of your set. You might want to address this person, and then now you got to figure out like, all right, how do I jump back into my set, or do I advance to the next joke within my set, just so everything is like a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of people say that they write their, well, not a lot, but I've heard one cat say he writes his jokes like songs. You know what I'm saying? And so, everybody has their own way of doing it. But I think everybody should just do it the way they works for them, meaning like how you write and everything like that. Because I don't write every day. I'll put notes down in my phone and then I'll come back, write a little more that I want to add to it, go to open mics, try it out. Even if it's incomplete, I might pick up something, from my experience on stage, or other comedians are at these open mics too. So they might help you tag it up, and then you just go from there. But it's one of those things where, like, when you are on stage and you got everybody laughing, it feels like it's one of the most magical feelings you could ever feel in your life. Like, it's times where you feel like you could just say anything and the crowd will laugh. You can just be like, yo, sharks, and be like, that nigga crazy, that nigga said sharks. Like, it's nothing comparable to that.
Like I said before, I've never done stand-up comedy, but I can relate to you on that from the improv side, like where you feel like, now I got them in the palm of my hand, so I can just do anything and they'll laugh. Question
I did improv.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah,
it was great. It's a big difference.
Tell me the difference.
Yeah,
Tell me
I think the difference between improv is that, one, I think people are more forgiving in improv because they know it's coming off the top of your head in the moment. Yeah. Right? And in improv, you are not supposed to be the funniest person. Yeah. And if you are trying to be the funniest person, you look like a jackass. You look like a jackass. And it's very obvious that you trying to be that dude. Yeah. And so you have a team to lean on. If you're not having a good night, you got your teammates to lean on. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it's forgiving in that people are people understand that it's coming off the top of the head. And when something hits, I think it's many times it's stronger in improv because they know that it's coming off the top.
Yes, that's what I said.
Now, but in stand up, when you're not funny, folks is like, oh, this is premeditated. You actually took time, thought about this, wrote this down, and thought you were gonna be funny with this.
Yes, that's so well said.
Yeah, but then when you come up with some clever shit and stand up, people have an immense amount of respect for you, especially, and I don't know if you feel this way, but to me, the best comics are the ones that they just give you half of what you need, and then the audience meets you halfway. Yes. They have to think in order to arrive to where you are. And part of the laughter is them celebrating the fact that they were able to get there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. As opposed to some comics, they just give it to you on a silver platter.
You know, you discover that, when I'm myself and in my delivery, in my way, what I've discovered from watching different comics in the successful ones is that they're truly unique as individuals because they're themselves. Their delivery, the way they speak, how they speak, their cadence. They're not emulating someone else. Like you said that, why is every time I get on the elevator, a white woman clench your purse? Now I know you're trying to be Paul Moody. I know you're trying to be something such.
If you could take that and go somewhere with it that's your own, I'm fine with it. Yeah. So if you're gonna give me that premise, I'm gonna fold my arms. I'm gonna be like, all right, let's see.
I'm gonna fold my arms.
Like in my mind, I'm like this. All right, but I ain't blocked you yet. Yeah. Because I'm gonna give you license to take it somewhere where I don't think you're gonna take it. Yeah. But if you take it exactly where I think I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna write you off.
You've been watching YouTube.
Yeah. I think a part of it too is like, to your point, it's all about finding your voice. Yeah. So like when you first starting off, you don't really have your own voice. You going off based off folks that influenced you. And so like for me, there was times when I sounded like Mike Epps. There was times when I sounded like Deion Cole because I liked their particular style of comedy, whether it was their delivery or what have you. And so it took me a minute to be able to find my voice. Like, how can I take my sense of humor that I have off the mic and bring it onto the stage that I'm showing my authentic self to the audience?
How long did it take you to be able to figure out how to do it?
It took me a couple of years, to be honest with you, man. And I think it could have been faster if I would have been a lot more consistent with how much I was going out on stage. But like once I was being really consistent and getting out there, I'm like, this is what they talking about when they say you find your voice.
So let me ask both of you this question. I heard Dave Chappelle say that when he got booed, it liberated him and it made him feel like, okay, well, if this is the worst it can be, I'm going all in. Oh, yeah. Did it do the same for y'all?
Yeah, 100%. Like it's kind of like, if you never been in a fight before and all of a sudden, like you never been in a fight before, you scared as hell to get hit in the mouth. Yeah. But then you take a boxing class or something and then you get caught with one, and then it ain't fun, but you like, this ain't as bad as I thought it was.
yeah.
And then only take one time, and all right, next time I'm gonna duck. You know what I'm saying? Next time I'm gonna slip, and so you get booed. You're like, this shit don't feel good, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. Now I need to go back to the lab and figure out how to switch it up.
So, okay, here's a question that I've been wanting to always ask stand-up comics. I've never asked this. And if I have, remind me, because, I'm getting older, so I repeat things a lot. I feel as though the Dave Chappelle, obviously, it's almost to the point where not using Dave as an example is cliche, but I got to use him. I feel as though Dave was the first comic, black or white, to inject pure wit into comedy, right? No. That's what I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What do you mean by pure wit?
Like backdoor comedy, like sharp, smart comedy. Before, to me, it was very on the nose. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because y'all do this. So if you can name professionals like George Carlin and other people, obviously that come to mind. But to me, Dave was like, because I'm Jamaican and I grew up watching a lot of BBC stuff, right? So Benny Hill and Monty Python and I can't remember all these other weird comics that were just very smart and nuanced, and the jokes would come through the back door. And I would always, as a kid, compare it to American comedy, which was very, was still funny, but very in your face and on the nose. And Dave was like the first comedian that I ever saw that didn't hit you right on the nose. He came through the back door. I remember Dave Chappelle remember Jenny Jones?
Of course.
I remember freaking Dave Chappelle used to be in the Jenny Jones audience, and he used to stand up and just ask dumb questions. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. But with that being said, I felt like Dave was the first to inject wit.
I think Pryor injected plenty of wit.
Yeah. You feel the same way too?
Yeah, I think Pryor. I think Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney for sure.
Paul Mooney for sure, yeah.
Paul Mooney is the foundation of the
Pryor.
Chappelle show.
Yeah. Paul Mooney for sure, yeah. No argument that's true. Paul Mooney for sure.
And I feel so bad that I can't think of the name right now. He passed away a few years back.
Patrice?
Bernie Mac?
No. He was like involved in civil rights.
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
100%.
Yeah. So, I think there were
Patrice, wit, what?
Yes.
Patrice, yeah. Austin loves Patrice.
Yeah.
Every other night he used to send me Patrice O'Neal, so I'm like, bro, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, just go ahead and say it, man. I know you want to say it. Say it, bro.
No, I'm just saying.
No, not say it, because I see the look on your face.
Well,
I see the same look on your face. Just go ahead and say it, man.
I don't understand how you came to the conclusion that Dave Chappelle was the first black comic to inject wit into comedy. So you know about all of these.
So to correct you, Alzo Slade, with the killer name Alzo Slade, to correct you, I said I feel. I prefaced it with, did I not? Thank you. I prefaced it with I feel. Hold on, let me finish. He got this Kodak Black look. I said I feel as though Dave, and I said, but you guys are comedians. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did I not say that, Lewis?
But it's not feeling based upon information.
Yeah, on my limited information, but you the comedian. You the comedian. That's why I passed it to you.
But you the audience, though. So what I'm saying, how is it that you feel?
I don't know what more I got to do, Alzo. I don't know.
Let you speak. Let me speak.
Go ahead.
Let me ask the question.
Go ahead, Alzo.
I'm trying to understand how you came to this feeling when you know Patrice O'Neal, Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor.
Well, at the time, Alzo, when I formulated the question, I wasn't thinking about them.
You just asked us the question 5 minutes ago.
At the time, I wasn't thinking about them 5 minutes ago. And then when Lewis started mentioning, I was like, that's right, Patrice. That's right. Paul Mooney did it. And I was like, okay, you guys are right. Can't argue with that. For all of you out there, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. Sometimes in conversations, even if you preface things with, I'm not sure,
that's not what you said.
Let me finish. I did say that.
Don't try to switch lanes.
I didn't say that. You caught me. I didn't say that. You get the gist though. In my limited experience, but you guys can speak to this more than I can.
No, in that situation we can't speak to it.
You're comedians. How can you not?
But in the place that you put us in, we're audience members just like you.
Okay.
So we listening to.
Why you nodding? You agree with him?
Hey man, I'm just taking it in. I'm just listening.
Because we listening to Paul Mooney, we listening to Patrice O'Neal, we listening to Dave Chappelle just like you.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to understand with you having knowledge and have listened to all them comics, how did you come to this feeling?
maybe there's a little bit of bias. Hey, for all of you out there, now this is how you humble yourself. Although there's probably a little bit of bias because I love Dave. You know, I'm a big Dave fan, so I probably leaned on Dave a little more than I should have.
See,
you know?
we could have saved a lot of time had you just said that from the jump.
I think the thing with Dave though is like I think the way he delivers his jokes is probably a little bit different than what folks have been to. It almost like with his past few specials, like it's almost as if he's just literally just telling a story and adding punchlines into the story. Where I think with maybe some of the other comedians where it may have missed for you is it was a little bit more closer to an actual structure of a joke, you know, with your premise, your setup, you know, and then coming through with your punchline. And I think for like the average person that's watching Dave, like they're not catching that. It's literally like he's just talking to you, smoking a cigarette, and then, you know, it's almost like he's just having a conversation. He's just saying some funny shit in the conversation. So
did you guys watch Gerard Carmichael?
Special.
What do you guys think about that?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was his.
Yeah. I thought it was very Dave-esque though.
Yeah. But I agree with you. But I don't think it's not a but. I agree with you. And Dave didn't start like that. Like he had to generate a strong following that gave him the freedom to deliver in that way. Because if you brand new and don't nobody know you, ain't nobody gonna sit there and wait.
That's true. That's very true.
10 minutes.
That's very true.
For you to say something funny.
And from you saying that, I harken back to Dave and Def Comedy Jam, and his specials, and it was slightly different. It wasn't the storytelling. Yeah. He's evolved. He's completely evolved into this old sage that just smokes a cigarette and tells you a story, and you laugh based on what he's done in the past. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. So with that being said, who are some of the comedians you look at now, and you're like, oh man, I like them. They're taking comedy into the future. They're leading it.
Man, I got some homies that, you know, ain't really prominent. Like they're prominent in certain circles. Yeah. Like there are a lot of black women comics. Yeah. Yamanika Saunders, Zainab Johnson, Chloe Hilliard, Marie Faustin, shit, boy, she would be pissed. She would be,
it happens to the best.
I'm getting old.
You can't remember the name, huh? Shout out to all y'all, though. Shout out to all y'all.
Yeah. But like, funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like, significantly funny, strong presence on stage. So I would say these are the folks that, like, Rob Hayes, my homie Rob Hayes, he's dope. Yeah.
Man, first few people I think of is my brother Clint Coley. Like he's amazing. There's another brother named Tahir Moore. Ali Sadiq.
Ali, H-Town.
Yeah, H-Town representative for show. And Malik S. Like Malik S. Super dope cat. He's out of Miami.
Yeah.
He's in that same generation as like a Ali Sadiq, but like I've literally seen him go on stage and just not have anything prepared and just say like, hey, just throw subjects at me. And he's like, this is how I write. And somebody will say politics and he'll just make up a joke about that there on the spot. He is incredible. I watch him in awe.
What's his name again?
Malik S.
Malik S. Okay. Yeah. That's gangster, man.
Sydney Washington, that's her name.
Shout out to Sydney Washington. Alzo was not gonna stop until he remembered your name.
You know what I'm saying? That's my sister.
You know what's funny is, you know, I talk about like setting an ambiance for yourself and a mood, like when you come home from work, you know, making sure your place is clean, having some incense lit, some music playing, something that will calm you down, and just an area that you can retreat to. And I remember, for a long time, I didn't go to a comedy show. And one day I was at the crib, just bored out of my mind. And I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna drive down Sunset. Drove down Sunset and went to the comedy store there and got some French fries and watched the show. And it was so like stress relieving and relaxing, just the laughter. And when I'm driving back home, I thought to myself, like, man, laughter provides so much joy and relief and de-stressing. It's crazy. And it almost made me feel like, man, every day I should go to a comedy show after working, or if I'm stressed out or I'm depressed about something, I'm gonna go to a comedy show because it automatically just de-stressed me. And it's funny how we wait every couple months or every couple weeks to go see a show and everything, but there's so much comedy out here and out in every major city for you to go get some for lack of a better word, joy in your life.
Yeah.
So you could retool and regroup and go back and tackle whatever difficulty that you're facing. Do you guys feel like when you're writing, when you're creating, are you specifically going out there to be like, okay, I'm gonna bring some joy into your life. I'm gonna take your mind off whatever you're going through, or are you out there like, man, I need to get this done because I want to be funny. I mean, your mindset, your approach to it, is it to please the audience, or is it more to please yourself and be like, okay, I went out there and I knocked it out of the ballpark?
I think for me, it's a mix of both, right? Yeah. And I think it's more so like I found something that I think is really funny. Let me take some time to construct it in a way where I can put it into a joke form with the end result of making the people laugh. Now, if they don't laugh, I'm still probably gonna think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I might, if I think it's funny enough and they don't laugh, I'm like, all right, let me try to reapproach and see if there's another way that I can still keep it alive. If it's something that I really, really feel strongly about. But I mean, like we mentioned earlier, like there's a certain high, a certain adrenaline rush that you get in your body, like when you get that house laugh. And house laugh, for those that don't know, is like when pretty much the entire room is laughing. It sounds like just a rolling thunder of laughs coming at you and just smacking you in the face when you're on stage. Like that's one of the best feelings you can get. So when I write, I'm writing because one, I think it's funny, and I want to put it out there into the world and see if others think it's funny.
Yes.
With the end result of making the people laugh and seeing why I think this is funny.
Yeah, I think for me, and to be fully transparent, like I haven't done comedy in a while. I hadn't gotten on stage in months, and to the extent to where in the comedy world, it would be difficult for me to say that I'm still a stand-up because I haven't been on stage in a while. Now other folks would be like, "What? You ain't done comedy in 3 months? Or you still think, But this is some shit that you need to do on a regular basis to stay strong." Yeah. But when I think my objective was like I just have a lot of questions about life, about people, about myself. And these questions make me think. And so what I would try to do is to just express that in joke form and get people to think and laugh at the same time. And now I work in journalism. And so my objective is still to get people to think through the stories that I tell.
Yeah.
But in this position, I don't have as much freedom to add levity. Right, because some of the stories that I'm telling, them shits are serious.
Alzo, you just read my mind. That was gonna be my next question to you. I was gonna ask you, do you use your experience from comedy to add levity to your journalism? I was literally gonna ask you that same question.
Well, I don't think it's using comedy directly. I think it's if you just like people, right? If you like people, it helps you to ingratiate yourself with them.
Okay.
And if you just use your tools at your disposal, you know what I'm saying? So like you sitting here talking to us, if you didn't know us before we sat down and we come in here, it would behoove you to try to warm us up in some way.
Yeah.
Right? You identify some characteristics that you may connect with. Yeah. Like, okay, this dude got on a jacket, or he got on some J's. We can start talking about that, and maybe you throw a joke in there too, and it's not to manipulate them, it's to grow closer to them, so so you can do your job.
Yeah.
So you can open them up, so when you sit down and talk to us, then the audience doesn't have to see us as cold, because you already become so familiar with us that the audience is now familiar with us off the bat.
Yeah.
And comedy definitely helps with that, because it's like you know, as you said, laughter just opens people up.
Yeah,
it brings
100%.
joy, and it allows us to connect.
Which allows
it's disarming.
Yeah, it's extremely disarming. Yeah, and then the people look at you like, oh, this joke is cool. He cool. I can flex with you. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, on your last trip, you just came back from the Democratic Republic of Congo, correct?
Yeah.
With that, tell me about your experience in that.
That shit was heavy, dog.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. That was one of the toughest that I've done.
And you've been a number of places, so
yeah. The continent is always tough.
Yeah,
because it's frustratingly paradoxical in that the continent has a wealth of resources, both mineral and human.
Yes.
and it's been exploited throughout history. I mean, even, you know, the Berlin Conference is when like the Western countries was like, yo, Africa, they got some shit over there. They got gold, they got diamonds, they got all this stuff over there. Instead of us fighting about it, let's just meet up and figure out who gonna take what.
Yeah.
Germany, France, Britain, and then when it came to the Congo, ain't really nobody know how to get in there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's landlocked, and so it was the unknown, and then leave it up to some
Question: landlocked, meaning what? Like
there's no ocean, like it's not.
Yeah.
There's no ocean.
Gotcha.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no access to it.
Gotcha.
By sea. So, but leave it up to some white missionaries trying to spread Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Them jokers, they found rivers and shit to get you in there. And short story shorter, you know, King Leopold II in Belgium, rich dude, found out, and he was like, shit, all these other countries got something in Africa. Shit, I'm gonna take the Congo.
Yeah.
So he made Congo his personal kingdom. And as it's understood, now he never set foot in it, but he used it for elephant tusks at first to get rich off elephant tusk trade, and then at the same time this was happening, the Industrial Revolution is happening across the world. Cats building, you know, they manufacturing cars. Cars need tires. Tires made of rubber. Them jokers are like, oh shit, there's a whole bunch of rubber trees in Congo. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna exploit the people, make them work in these rubber plantations. And like you seen, if you just Google like Belgian Congo, King Leopold, you'll see like people arms chopped off and stuff. That's what their punishment was, and you know. And then I said short story shorter, but this is a long story.
No, keep going.
And then a dude that was keeping the books this is very a bastardized version, but the dude was keeping the books back in the port of Belgium, and he's seeing rubber coming in, he's seeing tusks coming in, and usually in proper trade, something is going out to be paid. The only thing getting on the ships is weapons and military. So he was like, this shit ain't adding up. So he went over there himself to see what the fuck was going on. And he saw the atrocities of what they were doing to the Congolese people and how they were exploiting them, their slavery, all of that. So then he snitched to the world. And the world was like, this is terrible. This is bad. So then Belgium, the country took it from King Leopold II. But then they like, shit, we ain't gonna give up all this.
Yeah.
We ain't, you know what I'm saying? And so we gonna use this for ourselves.
Yeah.
And they did that all up until 1960. And that's when they got Congo gained their independence. And the first prime minister of independent Congo was Patrice Lumumba. I'm pretty sure you heard of him.
Yes,
Patrice Lumumba.
Yes.
Activist, cold motherfucker.
Cold,
smart.
cold.
You know what I'm saying? And this joker, when he took over independent Congo, it lasted about 5 minutes. Cause they got copper mines, they got, you know, all of these minerals, and he was like, "This is ours."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna exploit us no more. We gonna make money from our own mineral resources. Da 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 da. And the U.S. was like, wait a minute. And the UN was like, well, wait a minute. They weren't fucking with him, so he gonna go talk to Russia. And this is 1960. This during the Cold War.
Yeah.
Whoa. You gonna go talk to who?
Yeah. You can't do that.
You can't do so. You gonna the thought of Russia having access and control over those resources was way too much for America to handle. So America and the UN plotted to kill him. Yeah. They were gonna put poison in his toothpaste. They're like, nah, let's not do that. What we're gonna do is we already know we already got some dudes over there that's in leadership under him that fuck with us. So we gonna get them to orchestrate it because they want power and they already fuck with us. So we gonna have access to the mineral resources in the way that we want them because they are dudes. So they flew him out to this private airstrip, tied him to a tree, shot him, cut him up, put him in a bucket, put him in a barrel of acid. He's done, and they took over.
Just mad, yeah.
And now the mineral is cobalt,
which is what we use in our electric cars and all this. Yeah. Just it's so wild. When you were over there, right?
From comedy to
Right.
I know. I was thinking this got heavy.
I told you, dog. I told you.
No levity was added to that at all.
No, it was difficult, bro.
When you went over there, specifically, you went over there to see the conditions of the area, or just to deal with a certain topic.
It was about cobalt mining.
Yeah,
so
okay.
cobalt, as you said, is a mineral that's used in our cell phones, laptops, electric vehicles that make the batteries stable. It makes them so when they sell us on, you could charge your battery from empty to full in like 5 seconds, and it holds a charge for 30 years. It's cobalt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the issue is that the conditions under which people are mining this mineral are very dangerous. They're exploitative. They're not getting paid much. And so we went over there to see how this industry was affecting the lives of those folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the poverty level over there
It's strong.
strong.
It's very strong.
Would you say it's worse in the U.S.?
I think
comparison.
it's more prominent.
Yeah.
There are more people who are poor
Yeah.
than there's no middle class. There's very little employment. And as a result of such, you're forced to work in those conditions, and you making like $2-3 a day. And what's really fucked up is it costs roughly $6 to $8 a month to send a kid to school.
Yeah.
You making $2-3 a day. You got 4 kids. Everybody ain't going to school, if anybody.
Yeah.
So then but then you still got to feed them. So when they become of age, as young as 5 years old, guess where they going to work?
Right into the mines as well. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's
So, yeah, I mean, that trip was difficult, and it made me just think about poverty. Made me think about how privileged I am.
Yeah.
You know, to be living in the way that I'm living. It made me raise questions around what responsibility do I have to folks like that?
Yeah.
You know, is it like, it's kind of unreasonable to think that, I'm not going to use my cell phone because they using cobalt, exploiting the people. And because the other thing that's paradoxical is that it's not that they don't want to work. They need the money. But just pay them a decent wage and provide safety for them. This folks in these mines 50 feet deep, bruh. Ain't got no kind of support. They in there with no shoes, no hard hats. You know what I'm saying? And so then it made me think about working conditions for people here and how privileged I am here. Like, cause there is poverty here, like you said.